Tuned into Recovery TV, the voice of hope, with your host, John J. Tassoni Jr. Discussions and information on addiction and mental health issues. Now, here's John and today's guest.
Welcome to Recovery TV, and I'm your host, John Tassoni. Narcan, please get one. Keep it in your purse, put it in your car, but take it out at night. It's very helpful for people on an overdose. We can save lives with this. Narcan. My guest today is Zion Razin, and he is from Mindset Care. And they have 50 locations all over the country. So welcome and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about Mindset Care, because I know a lot of my viewers probably never heard of it, because I never heard of it until you got in touch with me.
Sure, absolutely. So what we do at Mindset is we assist those who are diagnosed with a mental and or physical disability and applying for SSI and SSDI. Taking that process and streamlined it down to 45 minutes over the phone. We represent the claimants all the way from the initial application through the appeal process with attorneys.
Cost?
We are free for partners that we work with. For claimants and clients that come through, it's 25% of the back pay. That's an SSA percentage that's put in place, but that's based on their back pay.
Now, how did you get involved in this?
It's interesting. So I previously used to work in the venture capital industry, and then I was very fortunate enough to meet the two co-founders of this business while I was in the VC world, and immediately knew that this was something special and it was helping people while also building a very great organization.
You know, as someone who is on Medicare, because I'm 65, it's a tangled web to try to get through it. And I can just imagine what kind of a web it is for people who want to get on SSI, who want to get on SSDI, and all the stuff that they have to go through.
Yeah, it is absolutely a tangled web. It's very difficult to do. I don't know how familiar you are with the actual application itself, but
let's talk about it.
Yeah, so it's usually by hand. Most people do it. It's, a thick stack of paper that they have to go through. With the use of our technology, we've been able to streamline that process down to 45 minutes. Right over the phone, we collect all the information for the claimant. We'll submit application that day if they're qualified, and then we collect all their electronic health records as well as the mail correspondence that takes place with SSA. So we're a streamlined process that's really here to help all the constituents across the U.S. in applying for these benefits.
Now, what is the time frame between once I have a conversation with you and either an acceptance or a denial?
That can fluctuate state by state. Right now what we're seeing is anywhere between 12 to 15 months. That is not on our end. That is falling more on the government side.
Yeah, the government. Now you say I apply in January, and I won't hear now until December.
Sure.
Do I get back pay to when I file?
Correct. So if you apply, let's say, in January of 2025, hypothetically, and you don't hear back till December of 2025, judge says, hey, you're entitled to $1,000 a month moving forward, you'll get back pay for those months that you had been waiting through your application process.
Okay, but that's not a good thing for an individual who needs to get on SSI. That's a long process and a long wait. The government's got to do a better job on getting these people on SSI or SSDI, because what happens to them? I mean, if they can't work, it's a perfect storm for those folks, because they may have to leave their homes. They may be going to the food bank now because they don't have the funding to buy food, medications. There's another big deal.
Absolutely. The government is working on, streamlining those processes and hopefully getting back to people sooner. They just have a backlog that's built up currently in the system, and they're trying to address the problem.
Now, how do you get your clients?
Yeah, absolutely. So how we get our clients is through multiple ways. One is through traditional marketing campaigns on social media, our website. We have a lot of word of mouth referrals. So if someone used our services, they have a friend or family member who's also, looking to apply for SSI and SSDI, they will send them our way. And then finally, we have partnerships in place, both local and national level.
Now, do you have like a call center where someone calls in from Rhode Island, that people know on the other end of the phone you are from Rhode Island, and this is what you need to do, A, B, C, and D?
Yep. So you can reach our general hotline at 646-921-1128. Once they call in, one of our representatives on the phone will do about a 5-minute pre-qualification. They'll ask you where you're from, name, the additional information that SSA would need, and then from there, if you are qualified, we will begin to collect the remaining information that's necessary to submit.
So the medical records end of it. I know a lot of people say, "Whoa, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. You know, you're gonna be diving into
Sure.
you know, what's the matter with John Tassone? You know, how do you handle something like that when a client calls? I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. What we lead with first as a company and our mission is, you know, compassion and empathy. So we understand this is a difficult time in someone's life and they're a little bit hesitant to provide information regarding, you know, a disability they're suffering. But we really try to focus on helping them and getting them through the process. So we're very empathetic. We're understanding whether they need us to speak to an additional case manager that might be around them as a local partner, whatever is best for them so that they feel comfortable working with us. That's the steps that we take.
yeah, I know it's very difficult now today with all the scams that are going on, you know, throughout the country. And when somebody, as your company, or I call you,
Sure.
and now you say, okay, give me your social security number and give me, you know, permission to go into your medical records.
Yeah.
You know, it's a scary proposition.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you go on our website as well too, you'll see that we're fully HIPAA compliant. We also have gone through DRADA certification. Our case managers have gone through the SOARCE certification as well too, so they can help individuals who are, you know, homeless or experiencing unhoused situations. So we take every step necessary to ensure our partners as well as our clients feel comfortable sharing information with us.
You know, the people that watch the show and people that are in recovery, some may or may not go back to work.
Sure.
So this is a good opportunity for your organization to, you know, say, listen, we're here. We're putting our best foot forward in Rhode Island. You know, give us a call. Let us work through the process for you.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
That is our entire focus. We understand people are in difficult situations, you know, given their background or what's currently taking place in their life. We're here to help them during that time and really get them on the right track, hopefully, to receive the benefits that they're entitled to, which will hopefully give them, you know, medical insurance, as well as stable income, food, housing. You know.
So what is, you know, a lot of things that your organization does. I mean, SSDI, SSI. What else do you provide?
Yeah, so we are in the process of expanding into some new services. I can't disclose that yet, but they are coming around the corner.
Oh, you can. On the TV, you can.
Yeah, of course, right? Of course. But at the current moment in time, our main focus is SSI and SSDI, and that's for anyone with both a mental or physical disability.
Yeah. What about people with substance use issues?
Yeah, if they have a diagnosis of some disability that the SSA would, you know, qualify them for receiving benefits, absolutely, we're more than willing to help them. We work with, you know, countless organizations across the U.S., Suboxone clinics, reentry programs, so we are more than willing to help in that process.
So if I was to call you, Zai, and you know, me and you have a conversation about benefits, you know, is it at that point where you say, John, you're going to be entitled to X amount of dollars? Or is it research have to be done, a callback needs to happen, and then we go from there? How does it work?
Yeah, so we don't guarantee any payment. That's not something that we can do. SSA is the one who determines the amount that will be you know, distributed. How it works with us, you call in, like I said, we do that 5-minute pre-qualification, we get through that step. If you are qualified based on those metrics, we'll then go through the process of applying for the application. That still doesn't guarantee that you'll receive it. Majority of those applications are denied right off the bat. So then we have to go through the reconsideration process, which our attorneys on staff will handle, and then our appeal process, you know, in front of the judge. So that will be handled by our attorneys as well too. Everything in between, we're very transparent with you as we go through. That's one of our big, you know, ethos as a company is keeping transparency with the claimant as they're applying for their benefits. So we'll let you know when you have hearings. We'll let you know if there's mail correspondence that come in. Everything necessary, we handle that so that you're very comfortable as you go through the process.
And I want to talk more about that when we come back because I have a lot of questions about that. You are watching Recovery TV, and I'm your host, John Tassone. We'll be right back after these messages.
Now, back to Recovery TV with your host, John J. Tassone Jr. Recovery TV is made possible by our supporting sponsors and our title sponsor, AdCare. Now, here's John and today's guest.
Welcome back to Recovery TV, and I'm your host, John Tassone. Keon is my guest from Mindset Care. You want to know what Mindset Care is? Keon is going to tell you again.
Yeah,
what it is.
absolutely. So what we do is we assist those who are diagnosed with a mental and or physical disability in applying for SSI and SSDI. Streamline that entire process down from the 2 to 6 weeks of doing paperwork to 45 minutes over the phone, application submitted and through the door.
So I wanted to ask you a couple of things from the last portion of our interview. John calls Mindset, do the 45 minutes over the phone. What happens next?
Yeah, absolutely. So after we submit that application or collect the information from you first, we go through the review process on our end. So we make sure that all of our checks and balances are in place. We have multiple people review the documents prior to submission, and then we'll send it to SSA same day for application submission. At that point, we are waiting to hear back from the SSA office, whether they rejected right off the bat or if they, have accepted you. In some cases, people are accepted, but majority fall under the rejection category. And then we take the next steps of going through reconsideration. If we have to do more, it'll be in the appeal process in front of an administrative law judge.
How does that happen? Is it done virtually, or is it done, I got to get on a plane and go to Seattle, Washington and meet with somebody over there?
Yeah, fortunately, even though it was an unfortunate circumstance with COVID, a lot of these have moved to virtual. So now they're done over Zoom, these hearings. It's at your discretion as the client if you'd like to have it via Zoom or in person. Majority lean towards Zoom, but if you would like to have an in-person hearing, our attorneys will travel across the U.S. to represent you. Yes.
Now, what about a Zoom meeting with the judge? Will your attorneys be on the Zoom
Correct.
also?
They will be with you through the entire process representing you.
And what does that process take? Is that like a couple-hour process in front of a judge?
It can vary. It can vary. We've seen from 30 minutes to an hour to an hour and a half. It just very much depends on the situation.
In that interview, I would have to tell the judge what's wrong with me. The judge, I'm assuming the judge would have my medical records there too, so in case he needed to ask any questions, he could do the same.
Correct. We will build a full case for you that we present in front of the judge with all of your medical history, the breakdown of why you applied, and if you should be entitled to benefits based on our understanding.
Estimation,
yeah, and then the judge will ask questions. You will most likely be asked to testify about your situation, but our attorneys are there to help you throughout the entire process.
How long have you been in business?
We officially started early 2022 and have been growing ever since.
Your idea?
No, it's two co-founders, Darren Webb, who is our CEO, and then Nate Arzu, who's our CTO.
It's quite an issue to make sure that with all the problems that we're having, especially in the substance use and mental health arena, to have a company like yours where somebody can just pick up the phone and say, hey, listen, I need help. I can't work. I need some sort of benefits. Now, when you get SSI or SSDI, you also get Medicare with that?
Correct. That does qualify you with the SSDI and SSI as well too to receive the health insurance and benefits from the federal government. It does take a little bit longer for the Medicare to be initiated, which can fluctuate up to 2 years. But that waiting period, it takes into consideration as well too when your application was submitted.
So what happens though, Zion, if you need medical attention, if you need prescription drugs, what happens in that window?
That's why we try to work as quickly as possible to file your applications, get the benefits.
Yeah, and I know it's not your issue, it's the government issue, but what happens to these poor people?
I don't have a solution for you on that, but I'm hoping we can find an answer relatively soon.
Yeah, because that's ridiculous, 2 years. And especially if you're diabetic or if you have heart issues or any other debilitating disease, you have to wait that long in order to get medication.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, I don't have the direct answer for you, but SSA might have additional resources available on their website where you can receive medical attention. There might be some resources out there. I just personally don't have the answer at the current moment in time.
What about the age limit? Is there an age limit to it?
Yeah, so the age limit is anywhere between the age of 1 to 64. So if you have a loved one and you are the caretaker for them, like a child who suffers from a disability, you can apply on their behalf, and then it goes up to the age of 64. After that, 65 and above, you qualify for your traditional Social Security benefits where you'll receive your insurance as well too.
Now, if viewers are interested in your service, how long does it take before they call until they get a call back?
Yes.
Or is it an answer right away if they call?
It's traditionally an answer right away. Wait times can range anywhere between 1 to 5 minutes. If we don't get back to you at that point in time, you can leave a voicemail and someone will reach back out within 24 hours.
They have a call center somewhere?
Correct. We have about 50 case managers on staff who are just doing intake calls for individuals who are looking to receive
How
benefit.
busy are you?
Busy. The phones are ringing nonstop. We are growing as an organization. We're very happy that we're able to represent people in all 50 states, and we're providing a lot of assistance out there.
Now, I know you probably don't want to answer this question, but I'm
Sure.
going to ask you anyway. What's the worst state to do business with SSI or SSDI?
What was
Are they
that?
all different parameters on how you can file? Which state is the most difficult?
Oh man, I don't have a direct answer for you on that. That is one of those things that it can just fluctuate and depend on the circumstance,
On the
state,
individual.
the individual. So it can vary.
So, one of the things too is, what is the benefit for me calling you?
Yeah, definitely. The benefit for working with us is, efficiency. That's definitely priority number one for us. We do get the applications submitted a lot faster than other, organizations that are out there. On top of that, you get full legal representation, which is, one of the big advocating points
Yeah,
for us
right.
is that a lot of people will file themselves and then have no one else to represent them, and
Yeah,
they
then
kind
they
of
get in
give
trouble.
up.
Yeah.
So we can step in right there from the beginning with attorneys. Most law firms, not all of them, will wait till you are denied and then they will join. We start, like I said, from the beginning to work with you. So efficiency is definitely there. Legal representation's another one. Peace of mind going through this process. We handle all the heavy lifting taking place, your electronic health
Right.
records, things of that nature. And then finally, compassionate, I think, is the most important thing.
Right.
We're here to, really get you through the finish line and be kind of that assistance and shoulder you can lean on as you're going through this process.
Well, I got to get you to the finish line because I got to take a break so I can pay the
Alrighty.
bills. You're watching Recovery TV, and I'm your host, John Tassoni. We'll be right back with Mindset.
Now, back to Recovery TV with your host, John J. Tassoni Jr. Recovery TV is made possible by our supporting sponsors and our title sponsor, AdCare. Now, here's John and today's guest.
Welcome back to Recovery TV, and I'm your host, John Tassoni. Zion is in the house today from Mindset Care, and we're having a great conversation about SSI and SSDI and how the application process works and how people can
Right.
hopefully get to you and hopefully get accepted into the program. One of the things, too, I wanted to talk a little bit about the people that are suffering.
Right.
They need professional help to get to where they need to be in order to survive. What makes your company different than the others?
Yeah, from the professional health standpoint, we take every step necessary to get them in the right place to go through the application. We are not medical providers, so we can't do their diagnosis, but if they need assistance getting to a medical provider, we are definitely there to help them, get there, whether that's, getting them a ride or something of that nature. What really differentiates us as an organization is that we're a tech-first company. So our entire platform is designed to make this as seamless and as efficient as possible for you. So as you go through this application, no more time-consuming, paperwork that you have to do. It's about getting there, getting the application submitted, and
Getting it done.
Yep, that's
Getting
what
it
we
done.
do.
Why don't you give us your phone number again?
Yeah, so you can contact us at 646-921-1128, or you can contact us at support@mindset.care.
I want to thank you for coming on today.
Of course.
It was great to have you on, and look forward to having you come on again.
The pleasure was all mine. Thank you.
And next week, Sue Babin will be on, and she's with the Village of Foster and Adoptive Families. Very, very important. 18,000 children are living with their grandparents right now. See you next week. Have a great week.